Hey guys, Omni here. We're going to be diving into DC's Titans over on HBO Max. This is going to be Season 3. I've given my thoughts and my opinions on Season 1 and 2. Back in the day, it was before I did reactions, so I did reviews for both of those seasons as a whole. And if you've been around the channel for a while, you already kind of know how I've felt about the series up to this point. If you're new, I haven't really been enjoying it all that much. I like the costume designs, I like the cast, but as far as the story and the way they've been kind of representing these characters, I haven't been really on board. And also the writing, I do not feel like has been up to snuff for what I would expect from a premium network or like a DC-owned network, rather, when this was originally on DC Universe. So, you know, I still hold out hope, as I do with anything DC-related. No matter how it starts off, I try to at least stick around to see how it improves and hope for it to improve. Even if I don't like it now, doesn't mean I can't like it later. Things can change. They can get new writers. Who knows? Whatever. I've been hearing some great things about Season 3. I've been covering everything else here DC related, regardless of quality at this point. And I was like, all right. We'll give Season 3 a chance. I was really worried if I do continue to not like it about putting any negativity out into the ether, because I like to try to avoid that and be as positive as possible, but I will be honest. So we'll see how this goes. If I really don't like it, I might not continue it as far as reactions go. But we'll see. We'll see. Episode 1 appears to be called Barbara Gordon. So we're getting that introduction to this character in this world. I know most of this show, if not completely, is moving to Gotham, or at least a majority of Season 3 is going to be taking place in Gotham. We know Red Hood is coming down the line. We know there's a lot of familiar faces that we're going to be running into. So I'm curious to see how we transition into that, how we set up Red Hood. We had it teased in the trailer. Obviously, there's been a lot of things rushed and glossed over in the past couple seasons. So I'm wondering how that'll all feel. But I've been hearing nothing but positive comments about the first 3 episodes of the show. Some people got to see the first 5 episodes of the show. And so far, a lot of people are saying that so far, right out of the gate, this is a vast improvement from the first 2 seasons. So I'm optimistic. So guys, the full-length, unedited reaction will be on my Patreon. Or if you become a member here on the channel, it'll get you access to it as well. If you want to see my uncut feelings about the entire episode, the stuff that doesn't make it into the highlights for YouTube, that helps support the channel. I got everything else I've been covering this year up there, and a couple things that are not here on the channel that you can check out over there as well. But that down and out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into Season 3 of Titans.
Holy shit, I fucking got you.
Oh my god, it's the Joker! I got 3 officers down. Hang on, Orpin! I need a medevac right now, goddammit!
We have a chopper in the area. Do you have eyes on the Joker?
No. Thank Christ.
Are we kicking off right with this?
He's at the old amusement park near the pier.
I won't be back until morning. Stand down, Jason.
Bruce,
Stand down.
Bruce, listen to me. I got this. This is the Joker, Bruce.
All the more reason you're not going alone.
I'm not afraid of him.
So how did we get back to this point? Because last we saw, he just kind of ran away from the Titans and everything. So did he, like...
I'm not afraid of anything anymore.
It's not about whether you're afraid or not.
Did he just run back to Bruce after that?
No.
Leave the Titans, go back to Bruce? What was that little gas thing? A little mask thing? Take like a snort of venom? Fuck Batman. I gotta assume that was venom. I don't know what else would get him like stoned up to get Jones in for a fight. And if it's come up in the previous 2 seasons, I don't remember it. Like that, whatever that was otherwise. So remind me. Because I've watched these seasons once each, and I never really went back to revisit any of it. You think we'll actually see the Joker? Or just silhouettes and nothing else? Yeah, we won't get a face. Come on, Jason, you can't even get a swing in. Sorry. I'll give it one thing too. That intro music just is like kind of bopping.
This is it.
It's Gizmo, isn't it? Gizmo. He didn't. Nobody heard that. Oh, they just don't care. There's. Not too bad. Hey, look at that. I think HBO gave him some money because that tiger looks so much better. That speed effect, not so much, but... pretty... It was a good entrance for everybody, though.
Crypto. Speak.
Hell yeah.
You want mine too, right?
I'm good. It's hard to top a super. You heard the man. It's hard to top a super.
Oh, come on.
Why a bat? Because bats hear everything.
Tim. Love him. He's defending Batman. He's like,
Batman's ally, Robin, was found dead tonight along with a security guard. The Joker, who was waiting for police, was taken in without further incident. The officer.
Tim, I'm so sorry.
No word yet on how Batman is dealing with this terrible loss.
well, we now have a vacancy, so Tim, you should apply. There's just a goddamn cloud over Gotham, man. That's fucking beautiful. So if the police found Robin dead, what did they unmask him? Like, they're not like Jason Todd was Robin or anything like that. Penguin's umbrella. T-Rex, Penny. Dude. I want to see what the other trophies were, but I moved on too quick.
The blood. It's hard to get out.
I'm sorry. Can I help with any of the arrangements?
No, it's all been taken care of.
So when's the funeral?
It's already happened.
Couldn't you have at least waited until...
He had no family.
He had us. What was Jason doing studying chemistry?
I don't know.
He barely read the back of a cereal box.
Doesn't matter, Dick. Jason's dead.
Not really facing it, is he?
So the Joker just killed him?
Sounds like Jason went after him the same way he went after Deathstroke. I'm so angry.
At the Joker?
No. At Jason. Jason never evolved. He never grew past his own worst instincts. Don't let that happen to you. Keep learning. Keep growing.
Octopus gonna mess you up.
Dang, Cheetah. What'd that gazelle ever do to you?
A snake was really cool. What should I do for an encore?
He's trying to study and change into new creatures.
So it's time to up my game. Nothing tops a super.
Excuse me. Commissioner Gordon?
Over there.
Thank you. Barbara?
Welcome back to Gotham, Dick.
Commissioner, that one's just like the others.
Thanks, Jones. Give me a minute.
Professor Pig.
Sorry about Jason.
Me too. Joker.
He was waiting for us by the body. He did the same thing after me.
That's what he does. He stole Bruce's chance to get justice. That's the game those two play, like always.
We're all the casualties. If you're looking for a mystery to solve, there isn't one. He went out there because he felt he had something to prove, and he got killed. That's it. Mystery solved.
And he was on something. Did he make his own concoction, maybe?
At the morgue.
How did he seem to you?
Maybe study Venom himself, or maybe the Lazarus Pit itself?
Characterize him as subdued.
It's different this time. I'm worried about him. Really worried. Would you talk to him?
Don't make me do that. We've kept it strictly professional since I hung up the cape. And my life is so much better for it.
That's why it would mean a lot to him.
Jason corners the Mad Hatter and he starts swearing at him, like going off. Like, you short fucking hat-wearing fuck. And Hatter stands there stunned that Robin's cussing him out. And then Bruce came in, and do you remember what you said to Jason?
Watch your language. I heard you found another body today. That makes 8.
Can't we just have a drink? No new clues. Yet.
Your father and I had better communication when we were fighting this war.
War? You still call it a war? Calling it a war feels like trying to justify all the lives that have been lost.
Your father knew protecting Gotham required real sacrifice.
My father died after being frozen in a block of ice by a man wearing a fucking refrigerator suit.
Mr. Freeze.
I know who he is. You dragged him into this insanity, just like you did Dick. And Jason, you would think that after everything that the Joker's done to so many people, you would have found a way to keep him locked up. But part of me believes that you want him to escape, so that you can keep hiding from yourself behind that mask. You're as crazy as the fucking Joker.
Real Harris place, B. Who the fuck are you?
I sell in this building. I heard someone's cooking something new in here. Didn't want the competition.
You come here peddling your shit again, I'll throw you out the fucking window. You understand?
Yeah.
Carrie Kelly. Potential new Robins, is that what this is? Stephanie Brown. He's just like, all right, what child's next?
Who are these kids?
Potential recruits.
How can you even think this is a good idea? You want to do to them what you did to me? Turn them into a sidearm? A weapon? Fuck them up in the head? Or even worse, get them killed like Jason? Do you know what this is?
No.
A drug Jason was manufacturing. Or trying to.
Oh, I didn't know.
You didn't know because you don't care. It doesn't matter to you. You were already looking for a fucking replacement.
You want to be Robin again?
What the fuck?
You know, Barb was right. You're just as bad as the Joker. You and he have been poisoning this city together.
I can't do this alone.
Then don't do it anymore, Bruce.
It's Jason.
What the fuck? I wonder if that was people making off with Jason's body. Maybe because she was drinking to Jason, thinking about Jason, she started to see through his eyes. Whoa!
You know what he was doing as I caved in his skull? He was laughing at me because he won. It's all a game I should have stopped playing a long time ago. It's over for me now. It's over. You see things I don't because you cared more than I did. The city is yours now. Do what I couldn't. Be a better Batman.
Bruce!
He just went and murdered the Joker and quit all in the same night. Well, fucking A, man. Kicking off the first episode of the season like that. That was, I mean, I'll just say, like, I think this was a great start to the season. Again, I think it's going a little too hard with trying to be the edgy show a little bit. Some of the fuckings felt unnatural at some points when they were delivered, like forced away, most of which Barbara's. But I like the interactions. I like the idea. I like the kind of direction they're taking with it, even if it's not the traditional path. I got mixed feelings on how they're handling Batman, though, man, because it definitely feels like weird. It's definitely trying to deconstruct him in a way that I don't know how I feel about it. I like Dick, though, a lot more in this so far than we've had. I think after the season 1 to season 2, it took 2 seasons for Dick to get to where Dick should be, as far as a character. And I'm willing to follow him right now. Beast Boy was fun. Gar was fun in this episode. He's seemingly trying to educate himself on trying to get more. Seems like they're trying to address a lot of the critiques that have happened so far just in this first episode. Superboy and Crypto were fun for the little bit we saw him. Of course, he's still young. He's got still this childlike-ish mind. So he's still trying to piece things together, like when Starfire's talking to him, trying to explain about learning, growth, and evolving, like explaining death to Jason's death to him was kind of wholesome. Starfire really came into her own in this too, because she felt kind of more sidelined last season, even though there was a couple of like storylines thrown in there for her, you know, between her and her sister, which I think are still going to be set up in this season. Of course, we got Blackfire as the opening poster shot in on the home screen. So I feel like, I mean, that's definitely going to be a key point in this upcoming storyline, at least. But I like that she took more of a central figure here. She's more of the empath of the team. She's the one more in tune with speaking to the public, mediating between the other members of the team. Kind of the role that she takes later on in the Titans is especially something we see a lot in the DC animated films that have come out, where she's kind of the senior member of the Titans still. Even if Nightwing has moved on, she's still there guiding and mentoring. And I like that we're seeing this kind of mediator type personality from her kind of come out, like her emotions are coming out, and like she's having these, she's being a good mentor to the team so far. She's being the glue at the moment, while Dick is off kind of handling his own thing with Jason's death and all that. Barbara feeling the way she does is also kind of, I don't know, different. It's a different approach. Again, I feel like we're kind of repeating a little bit of Dick's early journey in season 1 with what she's feeling right now. And I don't know, what they're doing with Bruce is definitely just, Batman is the bad guy in this show, and that's something I gotta wrap my head around. Even though in season 2 they felt like they buried the hatchet, like they finally met eye to eye, because in season 1 everybody that talked about Batman talked about him in a different way than Dick did. Like, Dick was buried in his anger, and it was something that he saw through eventually. Like, he saw that his anger was kind of misguided and misplaced, and that he was kind of dealing with it in a wrong way. In season 2, when he and Bruce finally came together and talked things out, they finally saw both, each other's truths, and I thought they kind of got past that, but we're kind of pushing back on that a little bit too, and putting the ball back on Bruce as being the villain in this whole thing. And I think that's just a way for the show to keep Batman sidelined so that he doesn't ever overshadow the team. But I felt like the journey of Dick's character was coming to terms with the life that he lived with Bruce, and how his perception had been warped by that life, because everybody around him seemed to have a different remembrance of what he was living. And of course, he lived it himself, so of course, the outsider's perspective will be different from his, but it seemed like a lot of that was his own personal mind kind of twisting things to me. The way that he was kind of internalizing a lot of that, and that he realized that over time, because he was not only pushing that against Bruce, he was pushing that against his own teammates, his friends. So like, it was definitely a lot of the core drive of the first 2 seasons, and that's one of the reasons I had such a hard time gravitating to his character, because he was constantly contradicting himself, and hula hooping through different story threads. So now that he's at least grounded right now, we're back to seeing, I guess, peeling back more truths about Bruce that even Dick didn't realize, I guess. So we're still onioning this version of Bruce and his crimes against humanity in this. So now he's killed the Joker after Jason was killed by him. Whatever Jason was getting high on, I'm curious to see what that is. We got a new player hidden in the field as far as this killer who's wrapping people's faces up in cellophane. We got Starfire having these visions of somebody's body. She was seen through the eyes of somebody on a gurney, and she was looking up at these doctors that looked like they were in a tunnel. Possibly the tunnels underneath the mortuary, possibly somebody making off with Jason's body to kind of keep it in line with the thread. And obviously we're going to get to the next step. Next episode is called Red Hood. So there's got to be a time jump of some kind. I mean, there was 3 months between the end of Titans season 2 and now. And at least we got clarification that, when Jason ran away, he went back to Gotham, went back to be with Bruce, and Bruce was just away, and then he got himself killed because he was high on something, and again, he rushed into something trying to prove himself again, time and again. Like Starfire said, he never really learned his lesson, and part of the fault of the Titans was not being patient with him. It is what it is. The Titans at least now are a team and are working together, and that's something that took 2 full seasons to happen. Raven is off on Themyscira trying to resurrect Donna. So we'll see what happens. She's in the title shot, so unless there's flashbacks, I assume that's going to be successful, because she went out like a punk last season. So I'd really like to see Donna come back and given some justice. I like that they're trying to build towards their powers a little bit. Beast Boy obviously trying to learn to do more than a tiger and a snake, but I will say the tiger looks way better than it's ever looked in the first 2 seasons. My God, that was so terrible. Like, I'm so glad that they at least put some budget into making that look good. Who knows? Maybe they just put it all in the first episode to make it look nice. But I feel like they gotta have a little more money from HBO Max now that they are on something branded with the HBO name. They're going to give them a little more of that dough. At least that's my perception and hope, at least. Seeing the inside of the Batcave was nice. I'm going to go back and see what all the little trophies and whatnot are later. If you want to pop them off yourself in the comments, I would really appreciate that too. It might make it easier for me, but I like that. I like those little things. That's one thing I really appreciated about it. Regardless about how I felt about the writing, the way they were characterizing the characters themselves on DC Universe, the one thing I really appreciated about it being on DC Universe, because it's on a DC branded platform and a network wholly owned by DC, there's not as many restrictions. They can reference whatever they want to reference. I mean, we saw Carrie Kelly in here. We saw Stephanie Brown as a reference. We saw Tim, who, just like in the comics, though he's got obviously a different backstory and family element to him in this. Because before, at least from what I remember the comics, he was just like Bruce's neighbors, and they were like equally as wealthy or whatever. And Tim was just obsessed with Batman, but a genius, and eventually figured out their secrets. In this, he's definitely still a fan of Batman, a fan of everything that they stand for, and I think that's going to lead him to, in the way that Barbara chose that path, I think that Tim will choose that life and not really be, because as you saw, like, he's obviously not somebody that was, unless there are way more files that we didn't get to skim through. Tim's not on that list of people that he's even eyeballing as possible recruits. So we'll see how that whole thing expands, how they expand upon that. But overall, so far, it kicked off with some great action. The fights were actually pretty entertaining in the beginning. We saw some utilization of everybody's powers. They worked together at catching Gizmo in the beginning. So that was a whole fun opening sequence. So far, this was a promising first episode. It can easily go downhill from here, but right now, I feel like this is a vast improvement from a lot of what we've seen so far. A little more tonally consistent with the characters in the comics, a little bit more so than the previous, so it does feel a little more familiar, that some of the characters kind of getting in line with what we might be used to. Not that they need to, but that helps me kind of like relate to these characters a little bit more. Dick seems to be more of a confident leader at this point, having gone through what he's gone through, and I like that. I think that him and Starfire are finally kind of taking their points at the head of the team right now, and we'll see where that leads. But guys, what do you think of the first episode? Sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll be checking out episodes 2 and 3. Don't worry. I will be, but I'll be putting them out on separate days. Unfortunately, this week with everything going on, I can't do these all in one day, but I will be doing these. I'll try to release at least one of these a day until they're all out, and then we can keep in line with the weekly releases as the show progresses. Unless something happens that just completely throws me off board with the show again, we'll just have to see. But guys, I hope you stick around. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to follow me on all my socials. If you did like this, subscribe. You can come hang out, talk about Titans, anything DC related, Marvel, TV shows, movies in general. If you want to come and hang out in our Discord, links to all those are in the description of this video. And remember, the full-length unedited reaction watch-alongs on Patreon, or if you become a member here on the channel. Before we go, we're going to shout out our channel legends, Mandy Sher, Ryan Karen, Jason Coleman, and Philly Vane. Thank you guys so much for your support. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode of DC's Titans. Take care, everybody.